Okay, hello, welcome and to everybody to episode 3. Took us a couple weeks to get this one done. Me and Dead just didn't line up time wise. But yeah, we're gonna be doing a Meet the Legion with Sorry I'm Dead, the co-owner of the clan with Hobo, the one that we did the previous episode with. So say hello, Dead.
Hello.
See, that was really awkward for him because he didn't hear what I just said, and then all he heard was "Say hello, Dead." But I'm gonna start before we actually go into the mission, just because 10 questions over the course of the 20 minutes might, whilst we're also trying to do you know, jumping puzzles and stuff for 0 hour. Would be confusing.
Man,
So
I can walk and
I've
chew gum, but
I mean, I've already introduced your gamer tag, but what is it? That's the first question.
what is my gamer tag?
Yeah.
When the original Xbox first launched, like this is kind of before Xbox Live, like me and like 12 or 13 of my friends all had just not those online gamer tags like we have now, but just your profile tags. It was all sorry I'm something.
Yeah.
When I was a little bit younger, it was something different and maybe a little bit less appropriate, and then my kids learned how to read, so I changed a couple different things and landed on Sorry I'm Dead.
Well, that answers the
long story short, it's not
yeah,
terribly exciting.
that answers the second question as well. Like, how does it relate to you and how did you choose it? That was the second question. Yes, Crown, you can go ahead. And you can talk, it's just obviously. What got you into Destiny 2 and gaming in general then?
Oh goodness. I mean, I'm kind of an older guy. Um, but sorry, my kids laughing in the background's got me distracted. Um, always gamed, man. I mean, most of my friends did. I'm sure that's not an uncommon story.
Yeah.
When I was like 19, I stopped playing everything for a handful of years, but then Gears of War came out because I would play Call of Duty every now and again, and then the Gears stuff came out, and I really got into that. I was in my mid 20s ish, and then I really got hardcore back into Xbox when Halo was kind of on its way out, and that's kind of what punched me right into Destiny was the whole connection to Halo. You know, that's what really polarized
pretty much the same as me.
Me and all my friends on video games was, you know, that old school like LAN parties, you know, getting 4 Xboxes in one house with 4 people on each Xbox playing quad screen. Just having good times with your friends. That's really what it's about. Oh my God, my TV's so loud. Turn that down. And then with Destiny, you know, when I was probably 2011, I met a group of fellows that were, you know, kind of like myself, you know, had kids, jobs, etc. on Battlefield. We played a few games, and then when Destiny came out, it just kind of turned into a thing for us.
Yeah.
I took it a bit more seriously than they did. I enjoyed it more, I think, I guess. I don't know. Won't speak for them. You know, but when Destiny 2 came out, it was a little rocky, and a lot of people that had bought into it initially, I'm gonna wrap Hut, had kind of fallen off, and I just kind of kept playing and kept, you know, farming the raids, even though it was for really no reason. you know, because they didn't have the reward systems in place then like they do now.
Yeah.
But I love the franchise, man. I love the lore. I love the connection to Halo, and I really like the community. I've made some like real talk, real life friends on this game. You can call that sad if you will. I don't think it's sad at all.
Nah, I don't either. Like some of my friends that I've met through Destiny, I've constantly spoke when it comes to like the lads that live in the UK. I was like, yeah, at some point we'll have to sort out like me coming up, and we'll just go for a drink in your local pub, like sort of thing.
Yeah, I mean something to that effect. You know, there have been talks about like, getting together with some of the people that kind of live in the same part of the country that I do. You know, but I mean, there's guys that I play with who's, you know, we've seen each other, you know, become parents.
Yeah,
Over the years, you know.
Maestro. Yesterday we was playing Spire, and he's just got a baby, and you know, we've all sort of seen him become a father, basically.
Yeah, and that's especially like cool for me because you know, I know him in real life. You know, I worked with him.
Yeah.
And he was in my old clan, and he was looking for, you know, I guess like a more active clan, and wound up joining Legion, and has been like hit or miss as far as like his ability to participate. But he's also a teacher, and now he's got a family, so it's like, you know, at some point there is that balance that comes into play. Oh God, it was killing me. But it's really neat to see those kind of life events happen to the people that you're friends with and talk to every day, etc.
Yeah, it's like my friends that I used to play D1 with, I'm still friends with majority of them, and they see me become a father for the second time, like with my daughter. It's don't I think my son was like 2 when Destiny came out, so I didn't see that. But yeah, I like that personally.
You know, my son is my youngest, and he's 11 now, so it's kind of like, you know, um, they've seen this whole thing. You know, we'll talk about King's Fall, and I mean, even though Charlie was what, 6 at the time, maybe 7.
Yeah.
I'll talk about a particular encounter, and he'll like, you know, have memories of it. But even from a young age, like, you know, before he was old enough to play, I'd be sitting there playing Madden or whatever, and he couldn't play, so I'd be like, hey, you can be my head coach. And he would, you know, kind of sit by me and watch as I played, and now he's sitting there playing, you know, Warzone, flying in on Battle Royale right now, so he's kind of coming to his own as well.
Yeah, of course.
I don't know what got me started saying that. Caffeine's not quite kicked in.
Well, we covered like Destiny and stuff. Prior to the Legion, obviously you mentioned D1 and a couple of the raids from D1, and that you farmed the raids in D2 as well at the beginning. But what like sort of player experience, like how much? If you had to hazard a guess, how many clears did you have coming in? Like, what would you consider your experience? And would you consider yourself any more experienced now, or about the same?
With respect to Destiny 1, 2,
2,
or both?
2 raids in general,
All right. So coming into
or raids in
coming into
general,
Legion,
both.
right. In D1, the raiding wasn't so much for me like a farming experience. It was more a social experience. Like, you know, that kind of, I don't know. I don't want to get too nostalgic, man, but like Like that feeling that you got after spending
Oh, for
like
fuck's sake.
hours and hours and hours in something. Nice, well played.
Yeah.
Leave you on my dust. That feeling that you would get like after spending hours in doing something when like you would be reaching its apex. You know, like when Crota first dropped before people, you know, discovered all the cheeses and stuff. Like when you would hear that music when the sword guy was running up to him. You know what I mean? Like just
Yeah.
those. And you wind up spending, you know, 6 to 8 hours a day in the same group with people. Like it is a social experience. Was a social experience, and I don't think I took it as like seriously as I take D2. Not at least not at first. Once King's Fall and Wrath became a thing, like I really was like, holy shit, I can get. I think at that time the power level cap was 320, but that was only with the King's Fall challenges. That's when I was like, I can do this 3 times a week for like extra whatever. And that's when I made 2 more tunes. I ran a Titan like exclusively until I discovered
Oh,
that
fuck.
I should be able to get the button. Yeah, come on, got it.
I literally just made that. I bounced off your head. That's why I was like, oh, fuck. Cause...
And so at that point, I wound up taking it more seriously, and I think the game like evolved in a really neat way too. Like, you know, like
Yeah,
it got
Taken
clear.
King really did change Destiny for the better.
Yeah, no, I agree. I mean,
And
it
I think
was.
that's why a lot of people fell off on dudes, because a lot of people was like, wait, you made this change 2 years ago? Like 3 years ago by the time the game, like D2 came out? And you have basically killed it.
Yeah,
Because I know that's
I
how a
mean,
lot of
there's
my friends felt.
that argument can be made, man. Like I did 90. It took me 90 something clears on Wrath, mostly. Oh, son of a. Mostly the whatever the 400, the hard mode or whatever that would drop the Nano Phoenix, that raid ship that was extremely rare. You know, I was just hell bent on getting that. And that was
Yeah.
really, I think for me that was my intro to just grinding the living dog crap out of raids in general for stuff, because up to that point, you know, after the Age of Triumph expansion, and they started that, you know, level 390 raid stuff, and then B, when'd you get ahead of me? Oh yeah, when I fell into the fan.
Yep.
And then B, you know, I think that it went hand in hand with some of the reward systems. You know, I went from clearing, I mean, I think I got like 20 something clears on Vault of Glass, and I love Vault of Glass. Don't get me wrong, there's no point in farming it though. You know, once I got that, what's it called? That
Fatebringer.
No, that, yeah, I mean, I got Fatebringer.
I've gone left, by the way, Trevor. Oh, Mythoclast.
Right? Yeah, once I got the Mythoclast and saw how broken it was in the Crucible, and then they nerfed it, I'm like, alright, well, see in, you know, however many years. And it came back, and, you know, it was fun.
Yeah, I knew a bunch of people that didn't manage to get Mythoclast until Age of Triumph, which was quite funny. And they would run, like, LFG groups every week.
Well, there's been a lot of that in there was a lot of that in D1. You know, people were like, "Oh, why would I want to learn Vault of Glass?" I'm like, "Well, because it's a fun raid to learn, even, you know, whatever." Oh God, Trevor's gonna just chew my ass up to death. Or one's gotten, but I'm about to die, like a horrible, painful death.
Guardian down.
Oh, yep, happened.
I'll get R2.
You know, and then 2 years later. Thank you. And then 2 years later, it was like, "Oh, you teach me Vault of Glass?" I'm like, "Well, I told you, you know, 2 years ago, you should just do it for fun, and then you wouldn't be struggling right now when you actually want, you know, rewards from doing these challenges and get the exotic burn primaries or whatever."
And it works out now that Vault of Glass is coming back to D2 as well.
Yeah, I'm really excited about that. I know they're going to bring up the champion mechanics. I don't know what else they're going to change. I haven't honestly had a whole bunch of time to like keep up with. Really, bro? Okay, he's going the other way. Can you see this guy? Tell me if he's coming back left, if you can.
Yep, we'll do. Probably gonna come. No, he's going back left.
Yeah, he's coming back left. All right, I'm in a room. I'm excited about that, but moving into D2, like, my old clan kind of waffled out, and I really wanted to do stuff, so I wound up suffering it out in LFG and just on Leviathan and Eater and all those other raids. Um, which, say what you will about LFG.
I hate it. That's what I'll say.
Right, I know you do. I know you do. That's why I'm like, say what you will about it. It did give me a more flexible mindset, and I can jump into a raid with people who do mechanics differently or have much like more broader
Skill
degrees
set.
of skill. Yeah, and still like kind of be able to at least make ends meet as best as I can. Um, which sometimes is the difference maker. Sometimes it's not. Need to wipe all those LFG red dots off my raid report.
Mhm. So that what actually led you to
Where's this
the Legion then?
Hold on one second, man. I'm sorry. Disabled. How far are you past Trevor? Because we just cucked you totally.
Yeah, he was. Saw him drop
Okay.
that.
I was past Trevor, but I was going up the elevator with you guys. I don't know where to go.
That's fine. As long as you're past that door, you can just get here when you can. We got plenty of time. We're fixing to get this gun for you, buddy. What was the question, Trev? I'm sorry.
With all that in mind, what actually led you to the Legion?
Well, I finally reached the point where, like I said, they kind of trailed off in the old clan, and I just wanted to play like not LFG, and so I wound up, looking for an active clan, and wound up meeting, one of the old founders here in a Destiny 2, like the app or whatever.
Yeah.
In one of those forum posts, right side's clear. And
Left
I think
side.
they were looking for raid Sherpa help at the time for Hobo, because he was, I think probably he was the only real Sherpa and certainly the most dedicated raider. And they saw, how many clears I had on the raids, which was quite a lot. So I came in, I think probably pre-tailored to Sherpa, as long as I, had the right attitude about myself, etc.
Yeah, because you and Hobo.
You can have 10,000 clears and be a total d-bag, and nobody's going to want to listen to you when you're trying to help them. Like, that's one thing I do agree with Hobo on, even though I don't. We have, I think our styles complement one another. They're certainly not the same. I completely agree with them that if you're a toxic teacher, nobody's going to want to learn from you, which is I think why he's so good at what he does.
If you're on about the vault door, Irish, it's the one with the pipes on it, with the Cryptarch system. Cryptarch symbol,
there's
even.
Some pipes and there's like a little sticker on the door.
No, I'm not on that one. I'm in the red one where you slide down.
Oh no, you go to the vent on the left.
Yeah, hang a left, and then when you go through at the top of those stairs, there's a little vent on your right, bottom right. Not bottom of the stairs, like.
Yeah, see it.
See it? All right, heard that.
Yeah.
So you basically met one of the old founders.
Actually, they kind of just plugged me straight up with Hobo, and we jumped in a party together one night while I was still working on my some I don't know, something solo something, I don't remember. We talked for a minute and wound up raiding together, and the next week I did a Sherpa test for Leviathan, and I mean, a week or two after that, they made me an admin, and just kind of went from there. Just kind of fit in with everybody. It wasn't seamless, like not everybody is gonna like everybody else, but
Yeah.
I think on the whole, like, it served the purpose it was intended to. He's oppressed. I'm gonna damage himself.
Yeah, I put my grenade on him. Oh, we got fucking tanks. I haven't got no heavy.
I do. we're good. Broken.
Do you have my revoker there?
Walker down. Smoked. Get out.
They will just grab him.
Welcome to the patty. Yeah. 315. We're going to crush this, buddy.
Doo doo doo.
He's fit to come back. I'm just gonna break his legs again. Just use Mobius and Impressive on the boss. Alright. You guys ready?
Yep. Gonna get these side shanks. Don't kill the ones that...
Guardian down.
Nah, there's Vandals up front. We're good, man.
Right, okay.
Just go ham on the boss, and everything else is pretty much dead. Pressed again. Oh, he just teleported out of it. We'll be fine.
You'll know when the well, obviously the timer's on the left, but you'll know when the well is about to run out. Put healing rift down.
Yep. T-10.
Why am I getting...
Oh my god. My frame rate just went to hell. Charlie's in the background. He's one. He's done.
Get the shanks.
Alright.
Done.
Angels are down. Alright, there's your guy. There you go, Crown.
Thank you.
So
There it is. Now we need to get your catalyst.
you joined the Legion that way.
Oh yeah. Yeah, so that was really it. I mean, it's not, you know, some
Alright, well the
like-
question
I was
6 is
I
like a
was actively
two-part.
looking, and they were too.
I'll be
Yeah,
going
question-
to full force.
Yeah, question 6 is a two-parter. But the one I normally say to, like, what I'm gonna say to all those that aren't Sherpas is, how are you enjoying the Legion so far? But the one I have for Sherpas is, what do you enjoy about being a Sherpa? And I'm gonna add on to that. Sort of added on to Hobo, in the sense of, why do you think you and Hobo were like the two that everybody went, alright, put them at the fucking top of the pyramid, when the previous like founders and that decided, okay, the clan has evolved into something we didn't want it to evolve into, so we'll leave them the clan and we're going to go do our own thing?
Oh my gosh, not today. I think the answers are not necessarily two-part. Like, Hobo and I complement each other really well. And to answer the first part of your question, like, I think what I like the most about Sherping is I like teaching people. I like explaining mechanics, but there is a limit to like how much I like to hear myself speaking. But
Oh, I got urgent.
yeah, me too. But a lot of times, like when we're doing, you know, a teaching run, you know, I kind of out of both his preference and kind of my own, I'll just kind of let Hobo take the lead. Unless like he doesn't feel like it, or
Yeah, I'm the same.
whatever
I'm the same. I've
whatever
taken part in
reasons.
so many Sherpa runs with Hobo, and it's just like, well, I'll leave Hobo to it.
But there's like
Tribute Hall,
just
Irish.
yeah, Tribute Hall first, and then you should be able to launch 0 Hour Heroic straight from ETZ. Like I remember there's like been moments when there's two in particular that really stick out in my mind. One of them was a Last Wish training run, and we were doing Shirochi it was a second run for I think 2 people, and so we were trying to teach them the mechanics they hadn't learned on their first run, which meant you had to learn the Shirochi puzzle. You had to be the one that took the whatever at Morgoth. You
Yeah.
weren't the one that picked up the first 2 and just let yourself get frozen. Not quite there with, you got to learn how to read Vault. Like, that's kind of an undertaking. Maybe one at a time. I wouldn't put 2 trainees on Vault reading. But we were in Shirochi, and so they had put me on ad control and in the puzzle rooms to let these guys try to learn, how to decipher the puzzles, and it went as some of those runs do. It went with varying degrees of success from room to room. But they're saying 2 or 3 switch or 1 and 2 switch or whatever, and I'm already sitting there clearing ads, kind of mindlessly, and they're like, oh god, 2 and 3 can't switch, or 3 and 4 can't switch, and I'm like, I'm already there. Just kind of like seeing what's going on from a bird's eye view and seeing these opportunities, like not like carry somebody, but fill the gaps and kind of be a safety net. They learn their lesson, and you still get the clear at the same time.
Yeah.
Charlie's sniping, and then there was another Divinity run, and they had, I think it was Prep and Dan. I don't know, there's a bunch of them in there, and they had been in there for a really long time with Devil, and Hobo got pulled in, and more people kept dropping out, and they were like, we need to get this done, and so me and Hobo had just gotten pulled in, and he pulled me right in. And the way that clear just went, it was just so smooth. Like, the builds were nonverbal. It was just very, and I don't think you were in the party last night, but he was talking about this to two guys from my old clan, actually, that were running with a training run, and I don't think they had too much experience. But when you learn that raid, when you learn it properly, and how it's like clockwork, there's just such a rhythm to it, which is why I like Crown. I really like that boss encounter from Crown. I don't think it's necessarily like the most
I'm good to go. Yes, Irish.
most not interesting, that's the wrong word. I don't think it's the most engaging challenge, I guess, of any raid challenge, but I really like the tempo and the rhythm of it. The one thing after the next is boom, 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 boom. There's always a place that you need to be. There's never just that stand there and shoot stuff. I mean, there is, but you're always on the lookout for something. And I really like that adrenaline, and I really like, loading in and that high octane raid experience, which is, I think, why I like Sherping, because a lot of the guys who I've seen come in, and girls come in with next to no experience, and we've taken our time and shown them what's up, and they've come in, learned it, gotten a few clears with us, then gotten a few clears without us, and then come back in, and it's been, pretty close to one of those kind of high octane raid experiences. And I like I said, I really like those, and I've gotten my fill of finding them off LFG. So it's really neat to have like a group of people that are skilled and easy to play with. That's half of the battle. The other half is that they're enjoyable people. Like, Dares and I can sit there and get pissed off at each other if we're trying to run, Grandmasters, or Hobo will get irritated with me if I'm not being serious during a serious moment. But we can say that shit to each other and not get in our feelings and move on.
What week is it this week?
Void week until reset tomorrow, I believe.
Yeah, I've already done Void. Already done Void.
good to go.
So I like the challenge.
Yep.
I think that's to answer the second part of your question. I like the challenge that Sherping presents. You know, because raid challenges or doing flawless runs or whatever, all that stuff aside, you know, there's a formula to all of it. But what there's really not a formula for is that intangible of being, you know, having the right attitude and going into a raid with people who don't know what they're doing and saying, all right, well, I'm the one who has to have a flexible mind to make ends meet, you know, whatever. And the challenge that presents is really the number one thing I like about Sherping, which is probably why I'm happy to just go in and play Overwatch. And you know, if whomever is leading the student, you know, wants to be the voice, I'm cool with it. You know, if they need something to be explained, I'm happy to explain it. But sitting there and talking through an encounter, I have a tendency to overcomplicate things sometimes with my words. Hobo explains things much more simply than I do. And I think that's just how our brains work differently. But you know, and we
I think
work
part of
together
that.
really
I think part of that as well is his job. He has
right,
to
yeah, no, I
sort
don't
of
disagree.
not dumb things down, but make it easier to understand for the kids he works.
Sure. No, I don't disagree. And I mean, the ways in which none of the ways in which he and I are different are bad, which is why I think we work so well together. And I think that's why, you know, when things really started to take off with the Legion, you know, people were coming to me and him so quickly. Like, as far as the schism, I'm not really, I never really understood all that to begin with. And, you know, I mean, I'm just, you know, happy. I'm happy to play with whomever. Like, I'm not about all that. Well, not whomever, but almost anybody.
Yeah.
But you know, but there was people who had never raided before, and then they announced all the stuff that was going on with the content vault. So it's like, oh god, we got all these exotics, and you know, I love these little dungeon missions, and you know, so it was a nice little nod on, hey, here's ways in which you can help a ton of people, because I had, you know, we had both already been doing it between missions like this or Whisper, or you know, getting people their thorns, or the Pyramidian for Izzy, you know, just stuff people needed help with.
Yeah.
It turned from helping people because they wanted it to helping people because, like, hey, time's running out on getting this stuff. So, I don't know. I feel like I halfway answered your questions at least.
Yeah, you answered them perfectly. The next question is again another two-part, but the first one need to be asked to Sherpas. So, second part is, if anybody within the Legion wants to be a Sherpa, what advice would you give them to potentially get them there? Like attitude, learning encounters, or whatever the advice you've got.
Yeah, I mean, I mean, for me, that's kind of a tough question. I mean, I think attitude goes a long way. If I mean, hell, but everybody gets pissy sometimes. If you don't have anything nice to say, don't say anything at all. Just do your job. But that's not necessarily a Sherpa thing. That's more of a just Raider thing in general. As far as being a Sherpa goes, it's different in Legion than it is in a lot of other... I'm moving forward, by the way. I'll take the solos up top. With a lot of other clans and with a lot of other groups of people. With this clan in particular, attitude is kind of your make or break. I mean, for myself, it was more like of you know, you get the right experience and approach the game with the right degree of proficiency and efficiency. Yeah, dude, it's time for your class, man. It's all right. You going to do your meet the whatever? Google Meets. All right, buddy. You know, but putting yourself out there to help other people, like even the people who like don't necessarily think they're good enough to help other people, or not necessarily help. But everything you do with anybody is building towards something. Like even this, like even though I've done this, how many times have we done this, man?
I don't know. 6.
Right? More than that. Well, maybe not, or maybe not the heroic.
I've done the heroic once.
Well, we've done. Love you too, man. We've done 0 hour quite a lot, way more than 6.
Yeah, me and you have done it 3 times together, and then the heroic we've done a couple times because I wanted to get mine done, but then I didn't manage to actually get through it. I keep forgetting I've heart.
Maybe I'm thinking of Whisper, but either way, like things that we do, we want even repetitively. It's building. It's building whether or not you're seeing those instant results.
Yeah, it's also building a relationship with different people in the clan. Like, I don't know,
Right.
disabled. I don't think you've played with disabled yet, have you?
Once a couple of weeks ago, I think when
There you go. And now you're doing.
watching your Twitch.
We did Whisper, Whisper, and then Heroic, and then the Void or the ship.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's correct. I knew it was something. But yeah, you're building for yourself. You're building for others. You're building relationships. You're building experience, because everybody you play one of these things with is going to do it a little bit differently. And had I not done so many whispers with people, I probably wouldn't have ever. It took me much longer than I would have liked it to. Completed the whisper solo, which is something I had been trying to do for quite a long time. There's like no reward for it. That's not really
Bragging rights, at least.
Personal satisfaction. That for me, I'm a completionist. I like having all the bells and whistles and toys and emblems, and putting as much on my raid report and my dungeon report as I can. Oh, come on, slide fail. Okay, hey, whoa, Crown, follow us. This is going to be different
Than last time.
than last time. Yeah.
He's a hunter as well,
Move
so
ahead,
it's
Tripod.
probably best.
That's good. All right, you move ahead. Yeah. What up?
I went the wrong way.
Can you hit the
Oh
back
no,
left
no.
button?
Getting the buttons.
Just the back left one. That's the only one we need. Hold on.
Oh, and I fell.
Shit. Did you need me to come snag it?
No, it's all good.
Where am I? Uh-oh. Everything is bad.
I'll get it. Okay. So your advice would just basically just rinse and repeat stuff, right?
Well, yeah. I mean, I don't think you should play with this. I don't think you should play with the same people every single day. Part of the reason why I've had the okay. We still don't have this thing. I'm gonna come back.
Got it.
No, buddy, you only got to do one.
Yeah,
you
this
only
one.
have to get that third silo open. No, it's this one back here, where I'm at right now. This is literally the only one that you need to open.
It's the one that I clicked. Trust me.
Guardian down.
Clicked it on Kobo.
Where am I? How did it get undone? What up? Okay, there's 3. I'm spawning on the wrong side. I mean, get clears, you know, make friends. Don't do the same role every time. Disabled, you're going to want to come across. And don't try to, you can double jump up this one. Then on this part up here, you cannot really double jump. So just jump, mantle, jump, mantle. Jump, jump, mantle. There we go. Oh, didn't work.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
You try it. Heard that.
Alright, what are number 8 is what are you forward to in Destiny's future DLCs? What's a personal highlight for you, story-wise?
I mean, I'm really excited to see those Golden Age raids come back. I think the content vault is going to be interesting. I don't know if it's going to... I think it's going to open up a lot of possibilities. All right, Crown's back there with you, Trep. You make sure he doesn't get lost. I got the platforms out for you.
Thank you.
I think it's, you know, the old content coming forward, some of the newer content, you know, getting put on the side burner, you know, and I think that I think a lot of it too, and you know, what they're doing, and it's not necessarily, in my opinion, a very veiled attempt at doing this, because they did it in Destiny 1. It was just outright. They made first generation consoles obsolete. And that's basically what they're doing with the content vault. They're vaulting all that stuff so that they can redo it for next gen consoles. So once you see, maybe not in Beyond Light, but once, you know, we get an expansion, you know, an April expansion behind that, maybe even, the original one won't be really it'll become what the 360 was to Destiny 1. You know, which sucks for people who don't have a 1X. They're gonna have to go out and buy something. You know, but you know, look at what that move forward to the Xbox One from the 360 did for D1. I mean, from a aesthetic and mechanical standpoint, if you go back and look at videos of vanilla Destiny, it was not
Land below me, game. Crown.
Guardian down.
So I mean, I'm excited for the technological stuff. I think that they'll do what they normally do with, you know, the lore and the content, and it'll always be more or less, you know. And some days it's more like exciting than others. I am excited for the roadmap as it stands.
Guardian down.
But I'm more excited for how things are going to unfold with. I really want to see the new dungeons, and I really want to get past this kind of stale bit. We've only got 7 minutes left, so I'm moving forward. I'm just assuming you guys are together.
Yep.
I'm at Trevor, just about. I forgot what I was saying, man.
Technological improvements.
Oh, yeah, the system related stuff. That's all good and well, and I think it'll make the game look great. Which, with the subclasses they have planned, it's going to have to. You know, if they made it look shoddy, I mean, hell, that's half the fun right there. You know, but with new raids and all this new content, and there's a lot of opportunity there. I'm excited to see what's going to happen with, you know, with the clan and, you know, the people who are maybe idle or whatever right now just because of the state of the union. You know, getting some energy back in their game, and getting some energy back in everybody's game, even those of us who play every day.
Yeah. So disabled, the platform that I'm shooting now, if you can see it, that's gonna fall, and you have to jump on it as a hunter. I unfortunately do not have to. As a warlock, I can just glide all the way over. but I'll wait here for you. But yeah, so like reinvigorating people's want to play sort of thing.
Yeah, because D1 was like a hobby, you know, and granted, like, I played all the way through the Osiris expansions, and I never really took a break. Like, I did play other games. I stopped playing Destiny exclusively, which I played Destiny 1 pretty much exclusively, with the exception of the House of Wolves expansion. Because at the time, you went from having Vault of Glass and
God damn
Crota,
it.
and then all of a sudden, everything was 3-man, and we had these awesome 6-man groups. If you weren't one of the first couple of people to log in, half the times you were without a third.
Yeah, it's just gonna keep pushing me off. Don't keep rezzing me. You're just farming me.
Killing his PvE KD, bro.
Yeah. Just try and make it across. I don't normally do that jumping puzzle, so it would have been better if Dead had got you past that bit. I'm a warlock. I can just skip it.
Relaunch it if you want to. I mean, Trevor's done. We're sitting dead in the water on time.
Yeah, after you round the corner of the wall, I don't do the jumping puzzle. I use my super and skip it. No. For fuck's sake, I forgot to eat my grenade. Fuck me up. Okay, last two questions are order the classes, Hunter, Warlock, Titan, as in like which do you play, what do you play, enjoy the most, 1 to 3?
Oh, you just ordered them for me, actually.
Hunter, Warlock, Titan.
Yeah.
Fair
It
enough.
sucks because I love, like I said, man, like, I didn't even start a second class outside of Titan. This is probably due to Halo, until King's Fall. I love the Titan, man. You know, I really miss Twilight Garrison. I really wish that they would bring that back because there's just something to me that's missing on the Titan. I think they've made a lot of improvements on the Warlock. You know, in Destiny 1, I kind of feel like the Hunter didn't really have quite so much personality as it does right now. I mean, it was kind of the little jumpy boy in the Crucible. All the, you know, you'd load into. I feel like, anyways, I would load into Trials, and all I would see is self-res Warlocks and Hunters. You know, ow. And self-res Warlocks had a lot of PvE utility, and I mean, so did Hunters. Tether and, you know, Golden Gun were always, you know, super useful.
Yeah.
Well, you know, I think it's lamentable what's happened to what they've done to the Titan. It's just become this moron class that just shoulder charges around the Crucible, and then they can pop a bubble in PvE, and that's about all they can offer. I'm sitting up top the vault, but we only got 2.5 minutes left. I think this is scruffed.
Yeah, and I don't.
Sorry.
I don't think I'm gonna have enough time for another attempt. I've got to go fetch my son in a minute.
Oh, it's all good.
So the last question, and obviously appreciate, as I said to Hobo when he appreciate time to allow us to actually, like, as a clan, put this together. It might be on my YouTube and my Twitch, but I think it's going to help us going forward. Is there anything that you, as SorryImDead, the Sherpa of LOF, the Legion of Forsaken, would like to say to any members of the Legion that might see this, or any potential new members that might want to join?
Oh goodness.
Any sort of.
I mean, I understand I don't stand on ceremony a whole lot. I mean, for potential members, we got something for everybody. I mean, there's you want to do the end game stuff, we got people for you. You want trials partners, we got people for you. You want to learn the raids, we got people for you. And all the while, those people will, uh, be enjoyable to be around. Oh, my phone's going nuts again.
Guardian down.
I feel like we've got a really, really good thing going. We've had a really good thing going, and I'm really glad that it's not, waffling or whatever, turning in on itself, becoming stale with lack of content.
Yeah, there's been to your point about like good thing going and it's carried on. There's been a few people that have like joined the clan that are new that like Destiny or have played it for a little while but not really done any of the end game stuff, that have turned around and said like, okay, I was about ready to quit playing the game because I'd basically done all that I could do by myself. I joined up with you guys and I've done raids and I've seen the end game stuff and I've realized I'm doing more end game content being part of the clan, and it's reinvigorated me wanting to play.
Well, it has, and I, left to my own devices, I'm very much kind of a solo player. I like raiding and I like doing those things. But the big fire team stuff isn't really what keeps me coming back, because when in my experience, the most challenging things and the things that I want to do are between one and three people. Not that I mind doing anything else, just, if nobody's on or whatever. I mean, like anybody else would, just kind of do what I want to do. So I'll work on solo stuff, or I'll work on grandmasters, or I'm helping several people to their conqueror skills right now, and that's what I enjoy doing. If help is needed on the raid front, I love stepping in, especially with the group of Sherpas we have right now. I enjoy playing with all of them. That has not always been the case, so I'm really happy about that. And going from being a solo player to the end game, I mean, I kind of started at the end game just because once what was it, Warmind or whatever dropped, and
Yeah.
The freaking black hole of Osiris era ended. I mean, they had gone from 4 million plus players a day to not even one. So people that were on, that's all there was for us to do is, those raids, this, that, and the next thing, and then all of a sudden, there's all this stuff to do. There's stuff in the Dreaming City. There's Triumph Seals to chase, and I'm about that stuff, man. But that's just for me. The people who start out and stay as a solo player and just can't find a group, like, we've got that for you if you want it. And or even if you just want people to play casually with, I don't think anyways that there's like this criterion of participation that you must meet that meets our standard. Like, if you don't necessarily want to raid all the time, but you're looking for some people to play with or whatever, I mean, this is just as good a place as anywhere else.
Yeah.
But anywhere else does have a bunch of people that only, want to do Nightfalls or Crucible or whatever. I think what makes this group of people really unique is that structure of people that are like willing to go above and beyond.
Well, the thing is as well, we wanted to do a crown to help Miss Cherry out the other night, right? She wanted a crown. Amakage, one of the Sherpas, didn't want to do it, he was doing something else. Like, I think it was next season prep. Well within his rights to do so. Me, Hobo, Lego, and Devil, all Sherpas, part of the team already. So it's basically us four and Cherry. Kronos, who's not long joined, he had literally just done a Leviathan with us. So Hobo turned around and says, "You want to do a crown?" And he was like, yeah, I can do." And like, he's obviously skipped most of our list, but that's it. Like, he got through the crown, he got the clear. So
Yeah, that's a good feeling.
okay, right. So we're gonna finish Meet the Legion there. Thank you again, Dead, for jumping in. I've got to go and fetch my son. So I'll see you guys in a bit.
Oh, yeah, you're good, man.
I'm gonna hop out and
Take care,
then
buddy.
finish this up.
Yep.
Alright, so yeah, thanks a lot for watching Meet the Legion. With Sorry I'm Dead. This is going to be the 3rd episode, and I'm gonna upload it to YouTube as soon as I can. So if you're watching this on YouTube, remember you can hit subscribe and the like button. YouTube algorithm loves that stuff. And we'll see you next time. Thank you and bye bye.